Over this weekend, I've spent much more time with Nvidia's brand new 3080 tier, and I'm here to give you some extra thoughts on it. Just so things are clear, I've decided to make this video on my own, and as per usual, I'm gonna keep it completely honest and real with you. I know what I'm about to say may upset some fans of this channel, but I've always promised to keep it completely transparent with you, and I plan to uphold that promise. Speaking purely from the gameplay perspective, after playing on the 3080 tier, it's really hard to go back to anything else. And I don't want that to be taken as a slight toward any other cloud service or platform because they are all in a pretty decent position, and some of them do outperform this new 3080 tier in a variety of ways, but I'll talk a bit about that later. Personally speaking, I've always been a huge advocate for the gameplay experience when it comes to cloud gaming. It's the make or break for me. And if you've been watching this channel for any decent amount of time, you've noticed that that's a huge indicator of whether or not I would recommend picking up a game on a cloud gaming platform or service. It's also why I'm such a huge advocate for 60 FPS experiences over 30 FPS, especially when it comes to cloud gaming. And this new 3080 tier just simply outperforms the competition, and it's not even close. The gameplay you're seeing in the background is literally the first game of my morning. I woke up about 40 minutes ago, I decided to hop on Splitgate, play a quick round, record it, and use that as the background footage for this video. This is typically the type of game I avoid playing on the cloud because it is a competitive multiplayer shooter that happens to be pretty fast paced and headshots matter here. And I'm not trying to say that you can't be competitive in the cloud, it's just that it takes some adjustment. For myself, when talking about Rainbow Six Siege both on Stadia and GeForce now before this tier, I would need to make some adjustments to the way I play to hold my own. They weren't major adjustments by any means, and they didn't keep me from the top of the leaderboard, but they were there. Over this past weekend, I've been hopping from game to game, back and forth from GeForce Now to my local PC, trying to spot the difference, and I can tell you right now, I simply couldn't, and that's something I say entirely in disbelief myself. I always thought cloud gaming would get there, but I just didn't think it would be this fast. It entirely surprises me, and I know how hard it is to believe. I'm sure that somebody at a higher level of play, or maybe somebody who plays professionally, might be able to see a difference, but speaking as somebody who just plays a ton of games, I couldn't. And then there's the fact that this 3080 tier currently has better specs than my local machine. In the here and now, if a game's available on GeForce Now, I actually would prefer to play it on there than my local PC. That's how good this is. Of course, part of the reason is because I don't have a 3080 within my PC, but last I checked the Steam hardware survey results, only 0.99% of you do. 0.99%, just to be clear. Obviously, if you do have a 3080 and a beast gaming PC, you're probably still gonna prefer using that over GeForce Now's 3080 tier, because even though it did make some significant gains in gameplay, it's still not a one-to-one experience. The new increased resolution certainly looks much better than it did in 1080p, especially when playing on a 1440p 165Hz monitor like I'm doing myself. But the game's still being streamed to you, and you will be seeing some artifacts here and there. It's also worth pointing out that in a game like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, where there's a lot of foliage and a huge open world, it'll be much more noticeable than a game like Splitgate, where everything's kind of tight corridors. In that sense, yeah, playing locally is still better. Another issue with GeForce Now is the convenience factor. And this is something that not only local machines do better, but other cloud gaming platforms and services as well. There is something to say about the fact that GeForce Now allows you to use existing libraries from multiple storefronts, as that surely is convenient. But when it comes to just logging in to play a quick session of a game, there are a few more hoops that you need to go through. First example would be authenticators. If you have any sort of two-factor authentication, you're gonna have to have that ready at all times, since you're gonna have to input it every single time you boot up a game. This used to be an issue with me on GeForce Now and Steam, but it's recently stopped. I don't know what caused it to stop. It's still an issue with me when it comes to Ubisoft Connect. And that's not the only inconvenience. Games also need to be taken down for patching, and when a game's launching day and date, it usually means later during that same day. And depending on what storefront you bought the game on, that sometimes means the following day. Myself, I find this more annoying than a deal breaker, but I understand why it may be so for some others. GeForce Now certainly has ways to improve when it comes to the overall user experience. I definitely agree on that. But when it comes to gameplay, GeForce Now has officially set the bar. It's that plain and simple. If you're like me and want the benefits of cloud gaming but still want the experience to feel as local as possible, GeForce Now's 3080 tier is exactly what you're looking for. Without a doubt, this is a premium offering, and it's not meant for everyone. If you're currently happy with where you're playing and your current setup, then continue to be so. But if you want a taste of the next step in cloud gaming, or to test out how good it could actually be, this is certainly a thing you should consider looking at. I can honestly tell you that I cannot wait for other cloud gaming platform and services to reach this level of performance, and I cannot wait to see what lies beyond it. Either way, that summarizes everything I really wanted to say in this video. If you enjoyed it or found it helpful at all, consider hitting that like button, as it really does help the channel out. And if you're wanting more videos like this, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell as well. And before it gets asked, yes, I will continue to cover all other cloud gaming platforms and services. I just simply am really excited about GeForce Now's newest offering. As always, thank you for watching the video. This has been the Virtual Cloud, giving you the latest and greatest on everything cloud gaming and VR related, and until next time, I'll catch you in the clouds.